Rowan.
Hi, I'm Jack.
And I'm Becky, and we're building a farm.
In the parish of St Pierre de Bois on the beautiful island of Guernsey.
Come along with us and watch it grow.
2, 1.
Okay. Sorry, this baby's not to cry.
Okay.
Alright, fine.
So we have got plans into planning. This is the farm entrance. We've got 2 entrances to the property, so we can keep our family house separate and then have the farm as its own entity. So we're going to widen up this entrance, make it really easy for visitors to the farm and the farm shop. Throughout my career, it's always been really important to me to think the most environmentally friendly ways of going about things. So no waste is left the site. We are trying to reduce, reuse, recycle. We've done quite a bit of planting so far. We've got willow cuttings here, so these will grow really quick and produce us an effective windbreak. Willow is also an insect tree, so it's very good for wildlife. And then in time, because it does grow so quickly, we can harvest it and we can use it for many different things: weaving, basket making, sustainable, quick growing firewood. Burns quite quickly, but it's still wood. So I'm standing on top of one of our earth banks. Guernsey Planning Authority love their earth banks, but it's also a way of us getting rid of our turf waste we needed to strip in order to put our ards standing down. And atop the earth bank, we're going to plant a mixture of hawthorn and sea buckthorn, which are both native shrubs to the British Isles, but they're also producing shrubs. So hawthorn produce berries which are edible that I've made ketchup from before, and you can also eat the leaves at the very early stage. They are a really nice salad alternative. And then the sea buckthorn also produces a lovely orange berry that is going to be used in some sauces that we can make, and we'll supply those to local chefs because they're quite a unique thing. When we were looking into purchasing this property, I was doing research, and an old customer of mine, who's more like an old friend really, Avril, it turned out that she owned this place. She lived here about 25-30 years ago with her late husband, and they planted all of the trees that we're about to see, and they actually purchased this field as well. So we've been blessed with over 20 quite mature fruit trees, and lots of other lovely specimen native and non-native trees that are around the site. So we're going to add to the fruit trees here and create a little orchard. And through here is just a little experiment. We've planted 17 cob nuts that are more suited to more of a woodland spot, but the hope is with the windbreak and the neighbour's house next door, this creates a nice little secluded Eden. Starting in the 30s right up to the early 80s, Guernsey was a huge producer of tomatoes, cut flowers and grapes, roses. This site that we're on here used to be a commercial vinery. This one was actually used for grapes. These 2 walls here were used to house a water tank at the top. We're going to preserve them. Bit of an homage to the past. This was a chimney that was used to fire up water in which to steam the land, to sterilise the land. I've got this crackpot dream of restoring it, and then that will be our smoker to smoke our pork, garlic, and a few other bits and pieces. If that'll happen, I don't know, but that's what it's in. Thought. Wood chips. Wood chips are an incredibly valuable source to us. We're going to use the wood chips on our pathways in between our beds, kind of known as the Ridgedale Method now, with the absolute don of regenerative farming in Europe, Richard Perkin. I went to his farm in Sweden over the summer last year to learn how to do all this. And yeah, we produced this pile from tree work that we done on site. We only felled 1 tree. The rest was just major regenerative work, lots of pollarding, lots of crown lifting. How was that shot?
Really lame at the end bit.
What, me jumping off it? I thought that would be good.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so this is our main growing area. just under 1,000 square meters. All of the beds are going to be 10 meters long, 75 centimeters wide, 30 centimeter wood chip pathways. That makes it really easy to plan, to work, plot. All the tools that we're going to be using are standardized to those sizes. We are going to be working on a no-dig principle. What we're doing here now is our final till. The ground was really undulating, had a lot of tree roots in, so we chopped it up. Then we've added an amazing local resource of seaweed, mixed that in, and then we're going to be making our beds. We had the soil tested. The soil is really actually quite fertile, but we are going to be adding remin, which is like a volcanic dust, liquid gypsum, which helps break up clay particles, and then well-rotted local wood chip and amazing biologically active compost that the guys at the soil farm produce. The idea of growing local food, but then having to import tons and tons and tons of compost in ton bags, shipping, yada yada. I just wanted it to be as local as possible. We're really exposed here. We're about 700 meters from the sea. We'll be getting those heavy westerly winds in. So windbreaks are really important. We have a line of Monterey pines on the other side of the field, and then we have our central nature corridor planted with lots of interesting native trees, and we're basically adding to it. Almost everything we plant has to be either native or productive. The tree planting that we've done down this side is some quirky fruits, so some medlar, heritage pear, heritage apple, and some interesting nut trees over the other side. All the trees are from a small tree farm, potash farm over in Kent. Really lovely mature apple trees down the bottom there were really neglected. They hadn't had any work done for a long time. So we gave them a really heavy prune. You shouldn't take more than 40% of growth off. We might have gone a bit more than that, not expecting much cropping this year, but we just needed to get on top of it. We've also removed all the ivy off around the base of the tree, and we added well-rotted local manure, some other amendments to try and help them along, and then we've mulched the top with our wood chips that we've made on site. Is that okay? On the bottom here is mainly going to be for our perennial plants. That means they come back year after year. Asparagus, rhubarb. My little brother worked for Raymond Blanc, has recently moved back to the island to become head chef at Alba. We're going to be supplying him with the more unique things that he just won't be able to find from local suppliers. This bottom section of the land, lots of poplars, highly invasive trees that produce new shoots from the roots, and they grow really quickly. It's not really a very useful wood. Quite a lot of ground clearance to undertake, so I thought, well, why don't we get some pigs to do it for us? It's been my passion growing things since a very young child, and I studied horticulture and garden design at college, so I know how to grow things, but I don't really know how to raise animals. So the animal side of it is going to be fairly small scale. We've got 4 pigs arriving in June. The heritage breed from Sark, which is a little island off the coast of Guernsey. It's actually where my wife and I got married, so that'd be really exciting. This section of land here is owned by our neighbours, who we get on really well with, and they have really kindly allowed us to rent this land from them. This is where we're going to be running cows and chickens symbiotically, running the cows in a strip formation, and then we'll be moving them every other day. They will defecate on the floor, and we'll move the chickens where the cows were. The chickens scratch around in the cow poo, eat the bugs and spread the cow pats out, which then helps to regenerate the soil. We can then use this land as an extension of our growing. A major part of what we want to try and do here is to produce good, clean food that is accessible to all, so not just the elite. So we plan to really work closely with the Guernsey Planning Authority. We want to work with our neighbours too, because we see the whole thing as all living as one.